Good evening, everybody. Welcome to yet another edition of the Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer group stage action as we continue to wind this and to get ready for the brackets. So tonight we have a Group K match, actually the group I was in and recently completed. We have TheRicky5 versus Leslie Pro 04. Both of them looking for their first wins of the tournament. Ricky5 comes in at 0-4, looking to finish out the group play on a high note. Leslie Pro 04 0-2, looking to get a couple of wins here and set up a potential showdown with Warpless for second place in group play. So this should be a good match all the way around. And I'm Pro A007, very happy to be joining you here this evening. So our runners are pretty much ready to go. They will be playing two matches, both of them under our standard flags, which will shuffle World Order enemies, Koopa Kid hit points, enemies, items, hammers will break locks, and end cards will be in play. So should be a very good match for our runners, and we'll see how they fare tonight. Like. So, Chad, if you haven't already, we had some before we officially went live, but get your guesses in on what the first world will be. Worlds 1 to 7 can be shuffled. Mew Mew suggesting a three-way tie potential. That could be a thing. We have had no ties so far for second in this tournament yet. We've come close. But nothing doing so far. And zeroing is correct. We were 1 second away from a tie. So our runners are off. We lead off in World 7. So our reverse world order is a... And, well, that's an interesting draw. And true to form, 7F2, aka Piranha Fort, leads off here. So this will be a tough test for our runners. Ricky5 went with the other pipe and is kind of getting a little twisted around here. Leslie about halfway through the Piranha Fort, doing a nice job, just taking his time, making sure his platforming is on point. But unfortunately, he's finding himself kind of twisted around here, and he's going to have to go back and try again. And Leslie was correct in his first pick here, and at least got a fort out of it. There are two more pipes if this doesn't end up Anna. Ricky mistimed his jump and gets caught by the Piranha there, and 7F2 was the correct choice. So we'll see how Ricky does second time around. Alright, so Leslie in the second Piranha stage gets a random item out of this. And it's just a star, so not much in the way of early power-ups for Leslie. We got a vanilla World 7 air. Was trying to get the timing down for the Tunnel of Love. Unfortunately, did not go his way and takes the second death there. That Tunnel of Love is what we call those two piranhas that look like they're kissing one another. And it can be tricky. It can be tricky to time, especially if you get two big piranhas. The small ones are usually a little more manageable. Gives you a little more bit of breathing room. Another death for Ricky. Not an unreasonable thing to us. Yeah. And game over is not a terrible thing in this case, just because it'll give him a fresh set of lives to work with. And it wouldn't be a... Oh, he wants nothing to do with this. He wants to roll the dice on the other fort and play another level. So, so Leslie had no trouble with Ludwig and the World 7 airship. So we have a one fort World 2. Leslie is going to take on some Hammer Bros here, get a couple of items. Gets another star for his troubles. Ricky did 3-3. Did not get any power-ups to make him bigger, unfortunately. Leslie dealing with a single Fire Bro. And Ricky finds one fort. So the thing with one fort is one fort by logic assumes you're always going for the item. Which means the lock or bridge that it's protecting cannot impede your progress to finishing the world. It can impede your overall path, however. But it cannot impede. It cannot stop you from finishing the world. So, you know, but it can slow you down. Now, as far as Ricky, that is actually a strategy. Going for just resetting on your lives in a new world, especially if you had a really rough world. In this case, though, I don't think it was actually his intention. I think it was just a mistimed jump. Ricky is making a good choice here. They're going for the Mushroom House. So Leslie was out of the first world at 2:35, so he's on his way to the next world. To the next airship. Another vanilla airship, so that's 2 in a row there. Questionable hitbox, but only 2 hits required in this case. So Ricky, with a star, is going to have to move kind of quickly here. Okay, well, he got past the thwomp at least. He got rid of the thwomp at least, but you know, Ricky's not taking any chances. And I think in his matches against Europolus, which I think I also commentated, if I recall correctly, he had some trouble with an early Piranha Fort in that one of the seeds as well, and it really kind of set him back. We have World 5 now, which has 2 pipes, a tower, and a fort. So this could be an interesting setup. We'll see how this plays out and how much work our runners are going to have to do. Okay, Ricky is through the opening room. Now he's just got to get through this final corridor. Okay, just powers through and gets it. Very nicely done by Ricky. Alright, let's see if Leslie is not going for the, he's not going for the end card just now. He wants to take on the fort, which is 4F1. Ricky, using his frog suit that he got from the Mushroom House to kind of give himself a little bit of a cushion. He's having a little trouble with his jumping, though. Leslie staying top route here in 4F1. And it is true, Ricky is brand new to the randomizer, one of several new players in the field this year. So it is understandable that he is learning his way through. Leslie finding this is Paradox Pipe, which is connected to the tower. So knowing that, he can go onto the pipe in what normally is the tower's. Okay, just got a music box off of that. It's going to deal with 2 Hammer Bro sets before. Gotta be careful. Okay, got. Yes, the main tournament held every year is open to any and everybody. There are no qualifiers or anything of the sort. And GIMP Extreme is correct. We also do weekly races when we're not in tournament every Saturday. SpeedGaming. So Ricky gets his first world down at 8:17. Leslie, meanwhile, is going to have to play 4 stages and a fort to get to the end. So this is... So the seed is making him work. So we'll see how he handles this. We've got 1-6 now. A stage that is famous... in vanilla for the Superman strat. Unfortunately, that doesn't really work here. So, not... Ricky having some trouble with the Sumo Bro. Leslie, I think it was going for the door 3 glitch. The fourth link in the command that GIMP Extreme just brought up, that has the randomizer. So Leslie is done with 3F1. Answer chat's question, what's the goal of the randomizer? We're playing warp whistles in this, but we're playing any percent warpless randomizer. Leslie had an easy go of it in 3F1. Ricky took his time to get through 5F2, but was successful. Leslie is going back for a second helping of the end card. He's gotten all the mushrooms already. He's got some stars as well. Not much help though. With the matches he did get. He got some okay. He got a raccoon tail and a star. Never a bad thing, but not quite. Ooh, the big item, the big ticket items he was hoping for, like say a cloud or a hammer. Unfortunately, Leslie got a little ahead of himself on his P-speed strats, trying to avoid a cheap, and takes an unintended death there. So he will try again. Ricky is done with Iggy, grabbing the wand at 11:50. So We'll actually be in sync on the world with Leslie in about 20 seconds, though still quite a bit behind for him after a rough start. So Leslie has found one of the 9 beta stages, games that were designed but never actually put in the final game, but they're still in the game's code. And this is kind of a 3972-esque beta, and Leslie was able to skip over a lot of enemies along the way. Leslie looking for an item, didn't get it, but he did get a Jugum Cloud. Ooh, Ricky overshot the jump and had to wait for the Lakitus and the Spinies to get out of his way before finishing it off. We have the World 3 airship now. Ooh, Ricky runs into a Dry Bones there. So we have a thick Roy. Roy and Ludwig usually are the thick Koopas. Oh, Leslie got stun locked. Mistimed his play, and it's a 5-hit Roy on top of that. But he is able to recover and finish the job at 13:31. So an 8-minute World 5 for Leslie. The seed was not cutting him any favors here tonight. They made him do the full thing. But as always, as anyone can tell you, there is no crying in Mario. We didn't stop long enough to show us what the item is. We got 2 forts, a bridge, and a pipe in its vanilla location, an out bridge, and and the pipe in its normal location. We have 6 F3, aka Carpet Fort, in World 6. World 6 can be really short or really, really long. It's rarely in between. So Leslie gets to the opening room, no problem. And now he's taking on Boom Boom again. Nice and easy. 3. Yes, you can, Harry. 5 fireballs will take out Boom Boom. Well, that creates the bridge, so we've answered that question. So now it's 6-5 or 6-7, and Leslie picks 6-5 and gets one of the 3 hand stages. Also, if you have Hammer Mario, you can take him out in 1 hit. So the item is randomized for the hand stage. And whatever item they get will be repeated for the other 2 hand stages should they find them. So if they find the other 2 hand stages, will get a mushroom out of it. Okay, so all 3 forts are very close to one another. He's got a hammer, so it makes sense to break that lock, but it also makes sense to at least play another fort and see if he can get something out of this. I wouldn't be surprised if after this he decides to play the fort and or play for the lock and see if he can get anything going. Maybe save himself a little bit of time and trouble. Ricky going for the rare 3-1. There's another end card. Leslie had most of the card filled. Should be able to close it out here. And he does, so we'll see if he gets anything out of this. Does not appear so the card really is a dud, and Leslie's just not going to take any chances. He's just going to play all 3 forts. Ricky, I think, is going to use his hammer here. An interesting strategy, I suppose. Again, he's new to this, so he hasn't quite learned how. He's not quite as familiar with how to maximize some of your hammers. But I think in his case, he just wants to cut down on the number of stages he has to play. So Leslie is taking care of all 3 forts, which were all in the first third of the map. So this should take him pretty much wherever he needs to. And okay, so yeah, Cheap got him good. Leslie is going to take on some more Hammer Bros here. And gets another hammer. Leslie finding 6-6, and he has no interest in playing this. Oh, Leslie got hit by face planted the pipe there at the end. That's an unfortunate hiccup. So Leslie is gonna skip 6-6, and he actually makes a good decision there by going in that pipe. If he were to take a death here, he will go back to the pipe as his last spawn point. So that will work out pretty nicely for him. Yeah, 6-6 is definitely one of the stages our runners, regardless level, are liable to skip because it is not a lot of fun to play. And it can be quite long and treacherous, so you're better off just skipping it. Ricky, was trying to get through that narrow gap there, but could not do so. Yeah, that's a good choice by Ricky, using his tail, so he should be able to zip right through to the finish line here. He's gonna take the third pipe, an interesting choice. Ricky, I think, is a little lost here. I'm not as familiar with. So Ricky is done with the beta stage and gets another life. Leslie is halfway home. Got to World 4 in 1945. So Leslie, I think, was considering whether it was actually worth it to break both of the bowl. World 3, given the 310 tile we saw in Vanilla Mario 3, there's only 9 numbered stages. And with that tail, Leslie also made a good choice, flying over the top, over the wall there, save a little bit of time. We're keeping very cautiously here with Roy and takes him down. And we'll get his wand at 2110. Alright, so we have the fort, we have the lock. Unfortunately, it is a linear draw, so he's going to have to play through this and play the fort. We get 6-3. Depending on some of the enemies, can be ugly in a few spots, but generally not a terrible stage. And Leslie's got the right item for it with his raccoon tail. Let him skip a lot of some of the more treacherous platforms otherwise. our only fort of the game, only fort of World 3, excuse me, is 8 Fort. Or as we like to call, as some of us like to call it, best fort ever. Kind of a weird in-joke, but where depending on the enemy, you can get a 1 cycle here, and Leslie does not look like, Leslie's not going to get it, unfortunately. You can do the speed strat and take 1 damage boost, but after that, you have to go through it flawlessly. But Leslie does have a star, and he's going to be able to get an orb on Boom Boom, so it evens out. Leslie is still going after the Hammer Bros. Nice job getting rid of the boomerang, because the item does not spawn until all of the enemies and their weapons are off screen. So, Leslie bringing out the frog suit. Human Mustard would be proud. Yep. He's getting a nice stockpile of items there. TheRicky5 did not play the hand stage. He played the other stage, which is 3-6. So Leslie found another hand stage, the third one, which actually can be the most, depending on the situation, can be just as dangerous as the first hand stage. Second hand stage, which Leslie played earlier, is generally free. So this will not for Leslie. No more stages. One of these pipes is going to take him to Wendy, and it's the one in the middle, as always. We'll see what Ricky decides to do here.